Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today we have another collaboration with Steve from Crypto Crew University. Steve also attacks the charts in a very data oriented mindset to try to rule out emotions. Steve is someone who I used to watch well before I started my own YouTube channel, and I would recommend that anyone who is not currently subscribed to Steve go over to his YouTube channel right now before we watch the video. Make sure you subscribe, get his updates on the market. So with that said, Steve, it's great to have you here again. I think the last time we had you on the show was a couple months ago or something. So I'm sure everyone is eager for an update. So I'll just let you take it away.
Thanks, Ben. It's great to be here. And I want to say, if somehow you're not subscribed to Ben, maybe you came from my channel, or maybe you're brand new, you definitely want to subscribe to Ben. I think Ben is incredibly intelligent. He's a really genuine person. He keeps everybody level-headed. He takes a look at the big picture. He built his own brand, and as Ben mentioned, I think we gave him a shout out when he had like 3,000 subscribers, and now he's running circles around everybody, including me, and it's well deserved. He absolutely deserves it, and I would love for one day Ben to be the face of crypto. I think one day he might have the number one channel in crypto. So you got to subscribe to Ben. He's awesome. Now for this chart, everybody buckle up. This chart is fascinating, right? We're going to cover two parts of it. There's the top part and the bottom part. Both are on the monthly chart. The bottom part's the RSI. We're going to save that for a moment. I want to draw your attention to the top part. And the top part is consisting of three distinct boxes. Box number one, box number two, and box number three. Now, these boxes are inside of these boxes, there's just absolutely fascinating things happening, including where we're at right now. But let's start with, how do we get these boxes, right? They're actually based on math, which Ben and your channel, you guys will appreciate this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bottom of the box is a 1.5x multiple of the previous all-time high. So we take, $30, $31, 1.5x multiple, we get the bottom here. And we take this previous all-time high, 1.5x multiple, we get the bottom of this box. And we take the 20K top, we take a 1.5x, we get the bottom here. Now, to get the top, it's simply a 4x multiple. Inside of this box is where the magic happens in every single cycle so far, meaning this represents a critical point in every single bull market. It happens mathematically around the same time, and we generally stay in this box for 5 to 6 months. Not only that, but inside of these boxes is where the only red monthly candles happen for the bull market, meaning as soon as we reach a new all-time high, we have a ton of green candles. The only time that we print red candles is inside of this box. The only time that the market consolidates is inside of this box. Otherwise, the bull market just moves incredibly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The only time that the market sentiment shifts is when we drop all the way down to hold support at our bottom of the box. It happened here in July of 2013, where the market fell all the way down 50 something percent, turning a lot of blood in the street. There's a lot of fear, pandemonium, shock. People are thinking that the market's over, but we just fell down to the bottom of our support here with our box. Same thing happened here in the same month, July 2017. Hey, the top is in, the market has shifted. We fell all the way down 40 something percent to the bottom of our box in this candle alone. That's exactly what we've done here so far. There's blood in the streets, there's fear, but all we've done is we've fallen down to the bottom of our box. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because not only is this period in box one, box two, box three, not only is it the only red months, not only is it we fall down to the bottom, but it's critical for the next 2 to 3 years, meaning this box, this consolidation that we create during this is critical market structure 2 to 3 years later for the bottom of the next bear market. It happens inside this box, right? That happened in this cycle. And we fast forward to this box and we say, okay, this box was the only red month. This box had our structure hold at the 1.5x, and 2 to 3 years later, it was critical market structure here and here, right inside of our box. Now, we're going to take those data points to better understand what's happening here, but the story is not finished. This is where it gets really interesting, is peek your eyes down to the bottom with the RSI. This is the monthly RSI, right? So we're taking several steps back. We're looking at the big picture to try to make sense of these market cycles, right? To try to stay more level-headed, to try to have more data. And by the way, what I'm doing with these charts is just stating the facts inside these charts. It's not what I hope to happen or my emotional opinion. These are just the facts of what this chart is dictating. Now, when we go to the bottom here in the monthly RSI, the critical level to draw on your charts at home is the 90 level. Every market cycle, we have our warning top and our true top, meaning the RSI gets above 90 twice in every single market cycle. The first one is our warning, like, hey, the market's overheated. Be prepared for top number 2, which marks the absolute top of that pinnacle market cycle, right? So we have our warning top and our true top. Fast forward to the next cycle, we have our warning top and our true top. Fast forward to this cycle. Hopefully, this is just our warning top, right? By the way, every single warning top happened directly inside of our mathematical box. Warning top number 1, inside the box. Warning top number 2, inside the box. Warning top number 3, hopefully, inside the box. Now, there's one data point which is a little bit of a concern. There's one data point that catches my eye. There's one data point that's slightly out of whack, and there's one data point that we should be mildly concerned about, and it's this arrow right here. And once we discuss this, then we'll talk about what our thoughts are about box number 3. So this critical level, we talked about the 90 level, right? The next level to talk and draw on your charts at home is a 71 level. On the monthly chart, Bitcoin has loved this level more than any other level for 10 years. And it's a critical level to tell the story. So this level represents where the market is substantially more bullish, right? As soon as we get above this level, that's when we create our new all-time high. As soon as we get above this level, that's when we know we're moving into our market cycle top. As soon as we go below this level, right? We breached above it here. We stayed above the 71 for years. And then we finally got below 71 here. What did it represent? The market top was in. Fast forward to the next cycle. We finally get above 71 here. We create a new all-time high. We print green candle after green candle after green candle. We have our consolidation point. We stay bullish. We put in our market cycle top. And the only time we fell down below that 71 level was when our market cycle top was in. Why is that important? This is incredibly strong market structure on the monthly chart. We've got many data points. One data point all the way back in 2012, another one here, another one here, another one fast forward to 2017, and another one in 2018. These are all support and resistance. It's an incredibly powerful level. It's the most powerful level in all of Bitcoin's history for the monthly chart. And we breached it. Again, the past 2 times we breached it, the market top was in. So the story becomes, okay, are we going to continue our cycle of really repeating this box 1, box 2, and box 3 theory? Or is this our big warning sign? Because it's going to be critical how we play with this, right? If we stay in this box for another couple more months and then suddenly have an explosion, which would represent the theory of box 1, 2, and 3, how are we going to play with this level? It's likely this level is going to be incredibly strong resistance. So are we going to come up, bounce off of this and come down? Or are we going to come up, bounce off, and then take a little pause and barrel through it to go up to our true second point? So that becomes the story. And here's what I'll say about where we're at with box number 3. Candles are so important. This candle, the bodies of the candle tell the facts. The wicks tell the story. What does that mean? The story here is look at the protection from 30K. This isn't a little wick. This is a big wick on a monthly candle. It shows a lot of buyers coming in, and the story is protection. The story is this is key market structure. And we can look at any of the past cycles when we came down here, look at the length of this wick. That's the story. The bodies tell the facts, the wicks tell the story. And we can even zoom back to our first cycle. Look at this long wick. We love to see that. I would be very, very nervous if we closed the body of a candle at 30K. We didn't. We didn't. We have a long wick there. It shows momentum. The wicks tell the story, and the story is a lot of buyers came in, and we have momentum to the upside. Although it doesn't feel that way right now, there's a lot of blood in the streets, but that's what the candles say. This candle's super new. We can't tell a story about this yet. It's got 27 days and 6 hours to close, right? So this chart is fascinating. We've just discussed only the facts in the charts, and we've got a critical point in time in Bitcoin's history, which it's never had this type of data point. Are we going to barrel through and create our second market cycle top in a bunch of months from now, which this structure creates critical market structure for 2 to 3 years from now, which means Bitcoin in 2 to 3 years from now would bottom out inside of this box? Or have we just done something that Bitcoin's never done before? And this was our market cycle top. This is our data point. That is our warning sign. And we're in for some trouble. So that becomes the story in Bitcoin.
I think it's interesting because, one way to look at this is, as you said, you're not telling us what, you want to happen or anything like that. You're just showing us the facts on the chart. And so one way to look at this is, hey, if this plays out similar, let's ignore the RSI for a minute and just assume it plays out similar to prior cycles where that's just our consolidation phase of the cycle before trending higher. And then we do something like that and we trend higher and we're putting in a new monthly RSI over 90, then I think that would be a pretty good indication that, hey, this is actually playing out in a relatively similar way as we've seen before, and people need to keep that in mind. If that does happen, I like the theory, or what you've shown here, that becomes the future, important market structure in the next, for the next bottom, basically. I think this is really, really interesting. So I think that what we'll have to do, I guess, is just sort of see what happens over the next month or two, because within a couple months, maybe 2 or 3 months, we should have a little bit more direction. Are we heading up to maybe put in a new market cycle top, or is it going to be doing something completely different, and kind of getting rejected from that RSI of 71 for a while, and then we'll have to figure out where we go from there, I guess.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is the length of time.
Yeah.
Right. We stay inside of this box for 5 to 6 months historically. But let's keep in mind, it's not like we have 12 data points, right? Bitcoin hasn't been around for 32 years. We've just been around for 10 years. So we've got 2 data points, 2 cycles, but we stayed in here 5 to 6 months. We've already been in this one for 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th month and it's fresh.
Right.
So in 3 months from now, it's going to be incredibly interesting to see how this plays out. Are we going to continue this box theory? How are we going to play with 71? It's going to be fascinating. So I can't wait. But one thing, and this will be interesting for you, Ben, is the time between top number, or our warning top, and the second one, right? A couple hundred days.
Right.
So that's another point. Is it going to remain the same where it's a couple hundred days where it happens inside of 2021, or are we on a completely new path and it starts here?
Right. Well, it's interesting too, because the RSI has dropped well below 71, which is where we've held as support in the past. We have a lot longer way to go than maybe what otherwise would have to put in to get back to those 90 levels. I think that's interesting. I mean, I know there's a lot of theories that support on a market cycle top in 2021, and I think what's the most exciting part about this is we should all know or have a general idea what's likely to happen, by the end of the summer. By the end of the summer, it'll be clear. I think the one thing that a lot of people can agree on is having some consolidation phase. It kind of makes sense. I mean, we just went straight up for so long, and these boxes sort of show the consolidation phase for each cycle that we've had, sort of maybe like a mid-market cycle consolidation phase. I don't know if you want to call it that, but maybe the midway point after breaching the all-time high compared to the prior all-time high, and then the whatever the market cycle peak is. But yeah, thanks for sharing this. I think this is really interesting, and it'll be interesting to see where we go from here.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. If you, as a reminder, if you have not subscribed to Steve, I would encourage you to go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Similar to my channel, he just covers the facts, right? And we leave the emotions out of it. We just cover the facts. And Steve, I think, is really good at sticking to the data and trying to keep people level-headed as we navigate the market cycle. But it was great to have you on, Steve, and I look forward to having you in another video soon after this one. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.